The winter is an especially hard time for those experiencing homelessness in our community. And Pastor Sue Kesterman from Churches United joins us this morning with an update on what it's like now and the things coming in the future. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, it is an important topic to talk about. One that has been around a very long time, but that especially in the era of COVID has, in your words, added an extra layer of complexity to everything. So how is everyone over there holding up?
Well, you know, we just kind of take things a day at a time and a situation at a time, and in some ways that's not any different than regular times. But because of the pandemic, we have to be extra conscious of mitigation strategies related to the virus, encouraging vaccination, thinking about how do we do quarantine and isolation if we have shelter guests who test positive, how do we protect our team members and encourage them to take care of their health. So it's just an extra layer.
It was already a very difficult undertaking in trying to get people into warm places, especially in the winter here, and then that just makes it more difficult. So what is it looking like right now as far as people that you're serving?
So all three of our shelters are pretty much at max capacity right now, and the three are Micah's Mission on First Avenue North in Moorhead, men, women, and families experiencing homelessness, the Dorothy Day House in Moorhead, and then Safe Haven in Moorhead, which is shelter for women. All are at or near max capacity. We're seeing a lot of pressure for family shelter. Since August, we've had between 8 and 11 extra families in the building every night.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And is that something that you have seen these numbers go up year over year, or what's the trend that you've been seeing in this line of work?
Year over year, we've seen a tremendous increase. In 2021, we served 1,259 unique individuals. That's undifferentiated people, not the same person counted twice, right?
Yeah.
In shelter, and that's up over, I think, 769 the previous year. So we've just seen an exponential raise.
That is an incredible, in a bad way, but an incredible number, but just the sheer amount of people that are experiencing this.
Yes, and we're seeing a lot of pressure for family shelter, more than we've ever seen before. Some of that, I think, has to do with the general shortage of family shelter in the region and nationally, but it also has to do with the timing out of eviction moratoriums and the pressure lower income families were already under.
And so what can people do if they want to help out your cause or help people in the community that are experiencing homelessness?
Well, the best thing that folks can do is to give a financial gift to Churches United or one of the other shelters. We work very closely together, and we're able to leverage those resources in order to connect people to housing as quickly as possible and to ensure that people have a safe, warm, dignified place to be.
And I think it's surprising for a lot of people if they've never seen it. A while back, I went and worked a breakfast. You can make a breakfast on Sunday morning, I believe it is, or at least that was pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, but yes.
But that's the most recent experience I had because of everything. But it's the amount of people that were there getting the food, and like you said, the amount of families that were there with little kids. And then you think that these kids have to go to school and try and learn and grow up to be people in society, and you think, well, this is what they're having to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and so we do everything we can to support our families. Our fastest growing demographics among people experiencing homelessness are children under the age of 5 and seniors over the age of 55.
People that have a hard time helping themselves sometimes the way it is. And so what does the future look like for your causes? Are you working on some projects?
We are. We're always working on some projects, and so right now we're working on completing plans for a significant remodel at Micah's Mission, which will allow us to add family rooms so that we don't have families sleeping in the family lounge and in the community center and in the worship center, so that families have their own space. We also hope to add some isolation medical respite space in the building and be able to fully utilize the building. Right now the basement is mostly used as a catch-all. And then we're very excited because in March of 2021, we were approved to build the Silver Linings apartments in Moorhead. Those will be 36 units of permanent supportive housing for seniors 55 and older. And as I said, that's one of our fastest growing need areas. And so we hope to break ground later this spring and spend about 10 to 12 months in construction and have the first tenants move in 2023.
Okay, well, hopefully more people are going to get help from that, the help they needed. So as a pastor, you know, there's definitely a cause that we should all be praying for, but also do the work and give the money and put in the time and effort to make a real difference in the issue.
And remember that these folks in our community are already your neighbors, and Churches United strives to be here for every neighbor in our community.
All right, I love that message. Sue, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you.
Coming up here on today's show, we are getting crafty in the studio and talking about how you can as well through community education.